It's wild how the Israeli government wants to continue the genocide and the war and Gaza. Like, they won't accept any kind of like permanent ceasefire with Hamas. All they want is Hamas to release the hostages so that the Israeli government can go back to genociding Gaza while also acting like they rescued the hostages.
With ceasefire and hostage release talks for Gaza at full steam, the White House's special Middle East envoy, Brett McGurk, is in Jerusalem on Wednesday, where he met with Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant. Netanyahu told the advisor Israel's committed to reaching a hostage deal as long as its red lines are upheld.
We're standing firm on certain things, one of which is that we cannot agree in advance to end the war, which is something Israel is not willing to compromise on.
The Israeli government is not willing to compromise on ending a war, but they're telling Hamas, release the hostages, and then we're bombing you after we get them back. Like, why would Hamas, like, release the hostages if the Israeli government is just saying, we're gonna go back to killing civilians?
If Hamas agrees to back down from this demand, I think there is a good chance for a deal, and it will pass in the government. And maybe we'll finally be able to see the hostages return home.
McGurk's meetings come as Israel's negotiating team, headed by Mossad chief Dedi Barnea, is in Doha for talks with the intelligence chiefs of Egypt, Qatar, and the United States. The four-way meeting aims to further discuss the deal, a day after Egyptian officials described Tuesday's talks in Cairo as showing agreement over many points.
Look, we've been working this very, very hard, and there are still some gaps that remain in the two sides and the positions. But we wouldn't have sent a team over there if we didn't think that we had a shot here. And we're going to take every shot we can to see if we can't get this ceasefire deal in place.
Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister Yoav Gallant told the Knesset that the IDF is scoring gains in Gaza.
We have eliminated or wounded 60% of the Hamas terrorists. We have disbanded 24 battalions, or the vast majority of them. We have returned half of the hostages, and we are determined to retrieve the rest. And all of us.
What about the hostages that the IDF killed? Were they returned? And what does it mean that they eliminated 60% of Hamas? Are they including like the kids and stuff that the IDF has also killed? Because the IDF has killed scores of kids.
Of us, the security establishment and myself heading it, are determined to achieve the goals of the war and complete them.
On the ground, Israeli forces continued to press their offensive in north and central Gaza, deepening their incursion into two Gaza City districts, carrying out house-to-house searches.
In the end, this reduces the capabilities of Hamas, allows us to move forward with the achievements, allows us to realize a very important task. Apply pressure, we will not stop, also to return the hostages.
But these achievements...
Okay, if the Israeli government actually wanted the hostages to be returned, they would actually accept a ceasefire deal with Hamas to have the hostages returned. But because the Israeli government wants to genocide Gaza and the West Bank, because they're also doing that in the West Bank, they won't accept any permanent ceasefire deal.
Continue to come at a price. 2 soldiers were critically wounded in battle on the central Gaza Strip, hours after the IDF announced the death of Sergeant First Class Talat, age 21, of the Maglan Commando Unit. Lat was
Kind of sad that such a young person was killed. Probably was forced into the military, like pretty much all Israelis. But also, it's like, womp womp. How many innocent civilians have been killed by the IDF? And the news wants people to be sad about a few IDF military members being killed.
On Tuesday afternoon in a Hamas-claimed sniper attack in the Tel El-Hawa neighborhood of Gaza City, raising the death toll of IDF soldiers in the ground offensive in Gaza to 327.
Oh wow, that's so many compared to the number of civilians killed by the IDF, which numbers in the tens of thousands. Like, how many civilians were sniped by the IDF, how many people in the media, how many aid workers and stuff like that were killed by